Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Damron. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. This game came out quite a while ago, but sometimes I just get to things later. I'm playing through this, and in this guide, I'm going to go through all the levels while doing the highest score and fastest times in each memory so we can get the Completionist achievement. Also, we're going to go ahead and do this on the plus difficulty so that we can get the way it's meant to be achievement, which is to complete this game on plus or plus hard game modes. And we're going to be doing this the stealth route. This game is really awesome, guys. If you haven't played it, again, I know it's older. A lot of people probably won't even see these guides, but I thought I would do it because I just played through it and I really enjoyed it. And there are some difficult missions. This is obviously the first mission into the game, which is relatively easy. Most of the first mission is going to be introducing you to the game and the controls and the mechanics, but you should be familiar with that in order to get to the plus difficulty, because to play on plus difficulty, you have to have beaten the game at least once. So let's assume that you've already done that, and as I progress through, you'll kind of see how I get through some of these situations. I'll kind of chime in here and there in more difficult parts, things that are pretty straightforward. When I'm just kind of cruising along in this, I obviously won't be talking too much. I'll let it kind of play out. You can just kind of watch it. You don't want to hear me talking the whole time, I'm sure. So let's kind of go ahead on this first mission. Again, I'm going to cover all of the missions in this game in plus difficulty while getting the highest score and the fastest times in order to get the Completionist and the way it's meant to be achievements as we finish this playthrough. So let's get going with the first mission. This is the escape, and since it's the first video, let's just talk about a few things about this playthrough that are going to be important. Let's go ahead and look right here. If you use your ability to look at an enemy, any enemy that is red, you cannot kill. Okay, there are enemies throughout the game that you are going to have to kill, and when you activate your eagle vision, those enemies will be gold, and I'll indicate those for you as we progress forward. But keep in mind, for the shadow gold run, we're not going to be able to assassinate anybody unless it is a forced assassination that's part of the mission, and you'll see one of those coming up here in just a minute. Get familiar with the noise dart and the whistles. Height matters. So for instance, that's a good example of how he looks down. Not only using those to get people to look away, but getting people to look up or down in certain scenarios are going to be helpful. So here you can see this is the part of the first mission that's introducing you to the assassination, and if you used your eagle vision there, I just showed you how he's golden. So that is essentially a point in the game where you have to kill them, and in those scenarios it's okay. You'll still get the shadow gold as long as you're only killing enemies that are gold outline. The other thing that I want to mention, again, I'm not going to go over this in every single video, okay? I'm just going to go over that in the first one, okay? The other thing I do want to mention is that, we're not playing this as we're trying to just be the best at everything, right? This is a normal game channel. This is normal people trying to get through this, trying to get these achievements. If you feel like you got caught, if you feel like you messed something up, just immediately press start and restart the checkpoint, okay? You can restart checkpoints and it will not take away from you getting shadow gold in a section. As soon as you see right here, you see that pop up as shadow gold, the game has given you a checkpoint. So if at any point it pops up and it says shadow silver, shadow bronze, you've messed up this level and you'll have to restart the whole level. But if you mess up a section of a level prior to seeing the indication of that section, of the score you got in that section, you can always restart your checkpoint. So keep that in mind as we go through this playthrough. And we're going to finish up the escape here. I'm going to let this run, and essentially what I'm going to do throughout this guide is I'm going to chime in on areas that I found were a little bit more challenging. There are plenty of guides out there, I'm sure, and again, most of you probably won't, most people won't see this, but it's fine. And I'll just chime in on those areas where, as I used some guides when I was going through this as well for more difficult parts, but I found that often people showed something, and when I got into that scenario, it might have been slightly different, or there was something they didn't cover that I was failing at. And I'll try to show you and talk about things that may give you some trouble to hopefully make the playthrough a little bit easier for you. So let's get moving on the escape, and I'll chime in again on some more challenging parts. So right here, there's a little cutscene that shows you the sword. So we'll skip past that. And then essentially here, you know, this guy, if you're too close to the edge there when you do this whistle, he can actually look up and see you. His vision where he's at can see you. So don't get too close to the edge here. Just kind of stand where I'm at and hit that whistle. And what happens is then jump over. If you wait till the very end of that ledge before you jump, he may spot you. So what you saw me do is I kind of jumped off like a foot or so before I actually got to that ledge. So whistle where I showed you and jump off a little early, and you should get over before he spots you. Again, if you get to the edge of that little platform, he might spot you. And that's actually what happened to me a couple times. I was like, dang it, you know, let's just do it how I showed you there, and it shouldn't give you any problems.
我跟你说了，我根本不知道什么刺客。
So I'll just mention as we're heading into this section, for these Shadow Gold runs, right, for these highest scores, you can only get the highest score if you're doing all of the side missions. So during this playthrough, we're going to be doing Shadow Gold and getting all of the side missions done in order to get an overall gold highest score in each memory. So keep that in mind as we're going through. We do have to do all of these, and I will show you them obviously in each mission.
Get you out of there.
什么？
Right here, I think I just jumped off. Don't do that. Luckily, it didn't actually fail the section. It just spawned me back up there. But again, once you get down, we do need to come back and free the captive there. So be sure you do that before you head into the right so that we get those points.
Your man did not capture me, Galvan. I allowed myself to be caught.
So that's going to wrap it up for the first mission, the escape. I hope you guys that do find this, I hope that you're going to find it helpful. Again, I'm going to try to keep this relatively clean and show you the fastest way that I was able to get through these missions in order for us to get Shadow Gold and get the Completionist and the way it's meant to be achievements, hopefully as easy as possible. Some of the missions can be very challenging, actually. You know, this is obviously easy, kind of intro mission, but hopefully I'll see you in part 2.